I lost the lease. Well, I didn't really lose it, but the rent went from, and I don't remember exactly what I was paying. I think I was paying like 5,200 a month. You know, I started out at 1,500 a month, but at the end of 20 years, I was like at 5,200 a month. And then my lease ran out. I had no more options to renew at any predetermined or at all, and the rent went to 12,000 a month.
Oh.
And that hurt. It had tapered off a little bit at that point in time. Anyway,
Yeah.
that's about the time that the live rock dance bands in facilities in clubs
Yeah.
started to fade.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
just
There was a time.
yeah.
I remember playing there early on with Tom. Tom. Me and him. He found me like when I was just turning 18.
Yeah.
And so we used to come to your club and play. Off and on, and I'd have to sit in your office, not your office, but the ice room, because I wasn't old enough to be around the bar.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that was kind of my first exposure to playing for a real dance crowd with Tom, and he kind of mentored me in my drum style, because I used to like the Who and all that stuff, and he said, "Oh, that's fine, but you got to put some funk on that drums," and he kind of turned me on to Tower Power and R&B stuff, and so Tom really molded me, Gary.
Yeah.
I
Well,
miss him.
Tom was a standby go-to guy. If I didn't, you had to fill something. He was always there. And of course he did the DJ thing too on occasion.
Yeah, that brings me to I think it was probably before you closed your club. Tom booked my band Lucky Strike to play a night at Odyssey Room, and he DJ'd the other half of the night.
Yeah.
If you remember, yeah.
Yeah. He did that, on occasion, and he helped out. I think I have the world record in continuous live rock dance bands or live rock bands with dancing, because I was open 20 years, a little over 20 years. And the first 2 years I did the first year and a half I did just 5 nights a week. I was dark on Sunday and Monday, but then I went to 7 nights a week. And for a little over 18 years, I never missed a night of live dancing. And so that's 7,000 nights in a row. And I think that's a record, probably by a factor of 5. I doubt whether there's any other club in the United States that ever did 700, did 2 years in a row without a dark night. Because even the biggest and best of clubs, we're dark on Sunday or Monday or one day a week generally. Would you know any better or know of anybody that?
I'm not attuned to that end. I'm a guy that just shows up on time, dressed and ready to go.
But anyway, when I didn't have a band, especially on Sunday nights, because that was a little flaky, because that was the band's just coming in for one night. But if some band would call me, Sunday afternoon or something, say, "Oh, we're not going to be able to make it tonight, Gary. Can we do it next week?" or this, that, and the other. I'd often go to Tom, to put together a band, because I had in my mind, after about 5 or 6 years, I had in my mind that this is a streak I've got going. So I would not, we had a good sound system, DJ thing, and we had DJs available, but I did not want to do a DJ thing even on a Sunday night. I wanted to, for 10 years, I worked on keeping that streak together, and Tom helped out a lot. Sometimes it was Tom. He got together a couple other pieces and came over and helped me keep that streak together. I love Tom. He's,
Well, what I remember about your club, Gary, you had a real nice deep stage. It fits everybody up there nice, and a state-of-the-art sound system where everybody sounded good and somebody to run it. And Yeah. I think you even had B.J. Thomas play there one time.
Yeah, I
didn't you?
did. I did. That was a big show. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
I was standing by. He didn't even see me necessarily there, but he was on the phone from behind the bar talking to his manager or somebody, booker or something like that. You know, and he said, you know, he said, yeah, this is a real nice place here. I really like it, but man, is it small. Well, it held 800 people, but I mean that was a small venue for B.J. Thomas. That was he was a big act at that time. You know.
Yeah. Wow.
He was used
Wow.
to 2,000, 3,000 seaters, and up, and up. Leon Russell was the same thing. He had the same reaction. He got real mad at he didn't play there in the first 10 years. It was into the 11th or 12th or 13th year, and I was talking to Leon there, and he thought we'd just opened or something. And I said, no, I've been here 12 years or whatever it was. It was really and then kind of the same thing, but he knew I was standing there, and he was talking to somebody on the phone, and talking about it, and he kind of got on his ass. He says, and he said, how come I've never played this before? This is a great place. I've been here for 10 years. He kind of got on his ass a little bit, So that was two memories, good memories. But yeah,